Welcome, Dr. Paloma Toledo. She is an assistant professor and director of obstetric intermediate care at Northwestern University, Department of Anesthesia. Thank you for joining me today. For those of us who may not know you very well, can you please give me a brief description about yourself?
Yeah, I'd love to. Thank you again for having me. I am originally from Miami. I'm Hispanic, and I grew up in South Florida and always knew I wanted to be a doctor. So I made my way progressively north. I went to undergrad at Duke University, and then I came to Chicago for medical school. I went away to Boston for a year for my internship, and then I came back to Northwestern where I did my anesthesia residency, my obstetric anesthesia fellowship, and I've stayed on faculty ever since.
That's wonderful. As a successful leader in anesthesia and having a family, how do you balance your time?
I
always laugh at this question.
I think this is another area where I'm not doing very, very well. It's really hard, especially now in the pandemic. For the last year, my daughter was home doing virtual school. She only recently went back to in-person school. And so I felt like I was part-time, sixth grade, team sixth grade, and part-time, mom, make dinner, all of the other like house responsibilities, as in addition to my academic work. So I think the pandemic made everything a lot more difficult because everyone was home. So I think you just have to find ways to make things work. So for example, I have an extremely supportive husband, and I realized that like coming home from work, trying to make dinner and clean up afterwards was just too much. So we started ordering out just for my sanity, because as much as I love cooking and it's like probably one of my favorite things to do, I just realized that it was taking up so much of, the 2 hours before the kids went to bed after I came home, that it wasn't worth it to spend an hour cooking, eating, and then only have an hour with my family. So I think you just need to try to find ways to find balance, but I don't know. You'll probably know better from all the interviews. Probably think that no one ever feels like they have balance. So if someone has the right key and right recipe, I would love to know what it is. I clearly have not found it myself, but I think saying no to more things will help you be more balanced. Mm-hmm. Again, I don't do that very well either. So
I think you have to choose where you want to spend your time, and support yourself with whatever help you can get. So I agree with you. I don't think there's I don't think that exists. So, but I do think what you just said, like learning how to say no to things, like whether it's personal or at work, saying no because that you just can't fit it in, is important. You mentioned this past year, COVID really highlighted physician burnout. What have you done to help you prevent from getting burned out?
I don't know. I think, honestly, spending so much more time with my family this year has made me a lot happier. And I think spending time with my daughter, my baby, my husband, and doing little things that bring joy. So we spent a lot of time gardening once the weather got better. I think I gave myself the bandwidth to not feel like I always needed to be working on work when I wasn't at work. So I think COVID has helped me in that way, but it's been really hard. I've seen some of my friends really struggle with burnout. And the thing for us in anesthesiology is when things opened up again, the workforce went into hyper gear, and we were in the OR all the time. Our hours were long, and we were just trying to recover from the months of not doing cases. So I think that's been really hard for a lot of people. And I have seen a lot of friends burn out. And so I think finding ways to support yourself through wellness, whether it be meditation or something else, is really important, because our field is too small to lose some of the best, contributors.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, the pandemic, I think, has really highlighted how many things we are keeping track of at once. Your home life, your work life, and then your own personal self, right? And so COVID initially, I think, pulled the rug out of all of us. And then now, as we've all gone back to, our reality, it's hard to put back all those things that you had in place to support yourself. And some of us maybe not be ever able to get that back. Globally, we're seeing this in the workforce, is that people are recognizing that they want to be happy. And they, like you, found happiness when they were at home with COVID. They realized, oh, yeah, there's more to my life besides work. Or maybe they realized that they were spending too much at work and not enough at home. And so now people are like, I don't want to work or not work the same way I worked before.
Mm-hmm.
And so now everyone's struggling to figure out how to do that and find more personal time. Right. What advice would you give to young anesthesiologists starting out in their career?
I think the biggest advice I can give is find people that you like working with and work with that team, because a lot of times people decide that they want to do things because it seems like it's the right thing to do, but it might not be the best fit. And especially as I've become older, I've realized that having that team that you mesh with is increasingly important. So find that group and what you love, and whether it be a subspecialty, whether it be in leadership, whether it be in, research, stay around those people, because that's where you'll learn the most and you'll grow the most.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Allison. This was wonderful.